Happy Wednesday, everybody. So glad to see you here. Time for Insights with Ivanna. So welcome to Insights with Ivanna, a weekly broadcast. Uh-oh, is it still streaming? I think it is. There we go. I don't know what my computer's doing. We'll start over. Welcome to Insights with Ivanna, a weekly broadcast designed to help you identify, embrace, and live more fully in your genius by illuminating important pieces of information that you actually already possess. If you're on with me, please say hello so that I know you're here. Tonight is our 8th week of our 12-week series exploring pathways to positivity. So, hello, I'm Ivanna, the founder and chief Luminary officer of Luminary Insights, an intuitive life coaching brand. Hi, Jody. Great to see you with us tonight. Thank you so much for being here. As you jump on, please do tell us that you're here so we can say hello. I know every week we hear from someone that they tried to say hi and it didn't come through. Don't know exactly what's happening with Facebook with that, but please keep trying and put your comments in the chat box. So tonight we are exploring amusement. It is the 7th step of the pathway to positivity. So this is our 8th week because we had an introductory session, and then we have 10 steps on our pathway to positivity, and then we'll wrap it all up in our 12th broadcast. So we are going to see how it helps us increase psychological strength, good mental habits, social connections, and physical health. Yes, amusement can do all that. So let me ask you, why do people, maybe even you, spend so much time on TikTok? Or in the old days, watching America's Funniest Home Videos? Or for me, listening to comedians like Mark Lowry? It's because they are amusing. They bring us moments of surprise and laughter. I know Jody shares with me all these funny videos. Like, why do we share these funny videos with our friends? Because amusement, I can't talk tonight. Amusement, hey Rhonda, welcome, glad you're here. Amusement is actually heightened when we share it with somebody. It becomes a social thing. So when something funny happens, we want to share it with other people. So I think of things like babies and animals when I think of amusement. I always love the opportunity for a surprise or a laugh. You can't have an animal around and not have a surprise, right? So my son's not on, or he'd be embarrassed, but I'm going to tell you that when my son Kenneth was little, we were always amused at how much he loved lemons. He was a little baby in a little carrier. We would set him on the table, and one night we said, let's see what he does with a lemon. And he made a funny face, which amused us. But then he wanted more, so it became twice as amusing. So it was just sort of a fun game whenever we went to dinner to get the lemon out and see what baby Kenneth would do with it. And he would make that face, and then he would want more. So it was very amusing and entertaining. So it was a wonderful social way. So since I've embarrassed Kenneth now, I'm going to give a shout out to Kenneth and his business partner Derek, who own Moondog Bottle Shop and Meadery in Durham, North Carolina. So here's a joke for them, because jokes can often be amusement. So what do you call an agnostic, dyslexic insomniac? I'll give you a second, see if anybody wants to try to answer this in the chat. What do you call an agnostic, dyslexic insomniac? Now you got a clue because they own Moondog Bottle Shop. And this is something that I think they will find amusing. What do you call an agnostic, dyslexic insomniac? The answer is someone who lies awake at night wondering if dog exists. All right. Yes, he still likes Sour Patch Kids, I think. I know he likes the Sour Skittles as well. So, an agnostic, dyslexic insomniac, someone who lies awake at night wondering if dog exists. And that, I think they will find that funny whether anyone else did or not. All right, so I tried. So what amuses you? What makes you laugh and forget about the rest of the world, even if it's just for a moment? Hi, Antoinette. Thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here. We are talking about amusement tonight. I think Antoinette would tell you that I probably amuse people a lot in meetings all over the country with some of my antics. But we are talking about amusement and how being amused can help us with our psychological strength, our mental habits, our social connections, and our physical health. Yes, Rhonda, Chip makes you laugh. So Rhonda's husband, Chip, does all sorts of things that are amusing. You never know what's going to happen next. He has this long beard and this great sense of humor. Awesome. Jody says, oh, good seeing everyone. Yes, I do. I do amuse people. That's one of my gifts, is I am the comic relief. So if anything else, what makes you amused? I gave you the example of my son with the lemons, and I don't know if you can type while I talk, but I'm going to give you a couple of other examples. So here are two of my favorite. Oh, let me pause. Jody says Martha and Ivanna make me laugh. Okay, we both make you laugh. It'll be interesting to hear how we make you laugh, how we amuse you. So here are two of my favorite non-serious social incongruities or amusing experiences. So one of my sisters, not the one online with us right now, one of my sisters was getting married, and I was watching her kids, or she was getting remarried. I was watching her kids and her stepkids while they were putting the final touches on the wedding. So we had gone downstairs to where the reception area was, and some of the snack food had already been laid out. So the youngest child had reached into the bowl of nuts and was getting with his hands and eating, and we were like, "Ooh, please don't do that." I said, "Honey, use the spoon." And I turned around to finish doing what I was doing. So all of a sudden you hear all the other kids go, "Ew!" And I turn around, and there he is with the spoon in his mouth, with the spoonful of nuts in his mouth, takes the spoon out and puts it back in the bowl of nuts. Now, they all thought he was in trouble, but you know what? He had done exactly what the adult had told him to do. The adult told him, use the spoon. It wasn't really what I meant, but it was what happened. And so, even though this moment of amusement happened so many years ago, we still talk about it today. It was sort of a bonding experience. And so, I don't know if you heard me say it, but why did I call an amusing experience a non-serious social incongruity? So it's really not my words. Those are Dr. Fredrickson's words. We've talked before about the book Positivity. Get it in the camera here. Positivity by Dr. Fredrickson. She is a researcher. And so non-serious social incongruity is one of the things she talks about in the book. And it's talking about the idea that you're in a safe environment, someplace that is not too serious, and something happens that's sort of out of the social norms, and it causes us to laugh. So just like that spoon of nuts, we as adults know you take the spoon, you dump the nuts in your hand, you eat the nuts, you put the spoon back. The child was just like, why is this crazy adult telling me to use the spoon? Okay, why not? So it was a bit gross, but it wasn't a really serious situation. It was easy to fix. And so we had this non-serious social incongruity that caused us all to laugh and brought us together. All right, I'm going to check the chat. Antoinette says, laughing at myself when I make funny mistakes. They aren't serious, and laughing with my daughter when we both do this. That's great. It's so good when we can laugh at ourselves, isn't it? It takes so much pressure off. Jody says, Faith, the dog, makes her laugh with different things that the dog does. Awesome. Jody says she does the same thing that Antoinette does, laughs at herself for making the silly mistakes. I think that that is something that confident people are able to do. We're able to laugh at ourselves, which is kind of funny because my second example is exactly that. It's an example of laughing at myself. So this one just happened a few months ago. A colleague and I were preparing for a meeting with a team of trainers, and we were putting those final touches on the PowerPoint. And I asked, are we going to do for the good of the team, which is sort of a chance to get to know each other and talk about anything good that's going on in your life, right? So are we going to do for the good of the team? And my colleague says, oh yes, I just need to find a good moose slide. I said, a good moose slide? What are you talking about? And she looked at me really confused, and then she started laughing and she said, no, Ivanna, good news. So if you know me, we quickly found a picture of a moose. And I'm almost in tears thinking about it now. We found a picture of a moose and we put it up and we said, good moose. And we told everybody about it and everybody's laughing. Maybe not as hard as she and I were laughing, but even now, good moose. All we have to do is say, do you have any good moose? And even if we are in a really stressful situation, it'll just take us to this point of relaxation and joy and this special bond that we have for each other. It's another example of this really fun, non-serious social incongruity. Oh good, I see some more things coming up in the chat box. So Jody says, when I used to make mistakes talking while teaching ESL, I would then exaggerate the mistake and giggle so students could see it was okay to make mistakes, and even native speakers make them. Nice. Martha, hey, I'm so glad you're here. You and I make Jody laugh. Funny golf videos. Yes, this could be really funny. Jody remembers the moose story. So yeah, so that one has kept me kind of laughing a lot with the moose story. So glad to see everybody here tonight. Thank you for letting us know you're here. We are talking about amusement. And do you believe that amusement can actually help you increase your psychological strength, your good mental habits, your social connections, and your physical health? So yes, Jody, I thought about that too. Our point joke, using a little bit of Spanish and English and mixing it up sometimes can get you in all sorts of trouble. So if you don't already have a copy of the chart that we've been working on, I'm going to put the link in the chat box for the chart, and then I'll show you what it looks like. It's okay if you haven't done the chart, because everything we're doing tonight you can do without it, but think about downloading it and using it in the future. So this is what the chart looks like. The top of the chart has those 4 categories that I just talked about: the psychological strengths, mental habits, social connections, and physical health. And then in the middle column, it has a place for things that you don't like about yourself or about your life related to that particular topic. And then the really exciting column is the last one, where you get to talk about things that you want. So I have to look at my chart to say it. So for me, for psychological strength, something I don't like is my negative self-talk. What I want is to believe in the best and have positive self-talk. For my mental habits, what I don't like is I'm a multitasker. I want to be doing 20 things at one time, which means nothing gets my full attention. So what I want is I want to be more mindful. For social connections, I know this will shock all of you who know me well. I have this need to be in charge. And what I want is to relax and just enjoy things, just have fun. And then for physical health, what I don't like is my up and down and my struggle with my weight and my fatigue. And so what I want is really radically good health. So those are the things I've put on my chart. You see on the chart at the bottom there are blank spaces where you can fill out your own. So if you've been coming to each of these broadcasts, hopefully you filled some out and are able to talk about how you have grown through the different things we have been looking at. So far we've looked at joy, gratitude, serenity, interest, hope, pride, and now amusement. And we've looked at how each of them can help us grow. So for me, when it comes to the amusement, where it has really helped me is with the social connections, that need to be in charge. So here I am being all serious, trying to get this presentation ready, and all of a sudden I'm having good moose, right? That allows me to just laugh and relax and realize that it doesn't have to be perfect, that sometimes those imperfections can be the things that really make things great. Just like with the spoon and the spoon incident, as we call it, I have a different relationship with those kids from that moment on, because we have this thing to talk about that we all went through together. And I was the first to say, you guys, that was my fault. You know, I'm the adult. I told him to do something, but he didn't understand what I meant. He just understood what I said. So it was really fun to do that. So if you have the chart, take a look at what you've written down. If you don't have the chart, just think about it. What about amusement? What does it help you with? Psychological strengths, mental habits, social connections, or physical health? Jody says, I was talking about mindfulness today in a different setting. Yes, so the things we're talking about here can actually roll over into other parts of our lives. And like I talked about last week, I feel like my negative self-talk has gotten much better over these 7 steps down the pathway to positivity. I've gotten better at mindfulness now. When I'm multitasking or I'm not really listening to someone or looking them in the eye, I realize, okay, stop, step back. I'm doing a better job of relaxing and enjoying myself even when things aren't going how I think they should be. I realize I don't always have to be in charge. I haven't made a lot of progress yet on the weight and the fatigue, but I'm counting on it happening. But for this particular thing, for amusement, it has really helped me with the social connections. So let's see if anybody else has typed in the chat box. Jody's got amusement helps me to relax, unwind, and connect. Absolutely. And the amusement, as we said earlier, can be you and the video screen, but it's so much more fun and it goes so much deeper when we're sharing it with other people. So let me scroll up and see if I missed anything. I think I got everything. If I missed something, feel free to type it again. And if you've just joined us and we haven't called your name, please go ahead and say hi so that we know you're here. Martha wrote, that's so true. G, me too. Yes, the amusement helping us relax. And in this day and age, we gotta find things that help us relax. But when you find that funny video, don't you want to just text it to somebody else and share it with someone else? It's always more fun that way. So, I am curious to know if anyone has any comments on the chart or on any of these particular topics. The psychological strengths, mental habits, social connections, or physical health. How any of these things might have helped you. Oh, Antoinette says, when my silly mistakes are more stupid mistakes, I pray and try to get that energy and trust from up above that I am human and I'm doing the best I can. Absolutely, Antoinette. You know, that for me is groundbreaking. I have it posted on my vision board, which is actually over here now instead of right in front of me. But on my vision board, it says, I'm doing the best I can, and I believe others are as well. And that is just absolutely powerful for me because it helps me give other people the grace that I hope they'll give me. It helps me laugh at myself a little bit more. It helps me be less judgmental of others because I don't want them to be judgmental of me. And it helps me not judge myself so harshly. So what powerful words, Antoinette. Thank you for sharing. Ah, yes, Martha's daughter, her little one, is always amusing. I see pictures. Even seeing her hair sometimes is amusing with her little pops up on the top. And Martha enjoyed the meditation. Awesome. I hope you got the links that I shared last week after the broadcast and tried some of those. We're going to do a visualization today, which is similar to a meditation. So hopefully you will like that as well. Awesome. Well, I did invite David to come and tell some of his jokes because he's a really good storyteller, but he wasn't real amused. So he declined and I'm on my own. So my option number 2 is to do a visualization. But before we go into the visualization, let's see if you have any other comments on, it could be about amusement, but you could also share about joy, gratitude, serenity, interest, hope, or pride, and how any of these sessions have helped you grow in any of these topics of psychological strength, mental habits, social connections, or physical health. I tell you guys, I am waiting for this physical health one to kick in. I am so excited that I'm seeing growth in 3 out of 4, and I am just counting on seeing growth in the 4th as well, because for me, sharing this information with you, it's always a learning experience for me, and I grow through it each and every time, and it's just so powerful, and I'm excited to be able to share that I'm seeing real progress in 3 out of the 4. Let's see, Martha said, oh, she did. She listened to some of the others and loved it, and she'll be trying to make it more of a weekly thing. Fantastic. I do a lot of the sleep meditations as well, and allow them to put me to sleep because your subconscious keeps hearing the meditations even as you are drifting off to sleep. I'll try to remember to put in the chat some of the I am meditations that I use, where you are reminding yourself that you are loved, that you are wonderful, all of those things. And then I'll put that in the chat. I'll find a couple of those for you guys. But those are wonderful ones to go to sleep with. Jody, yay, I'm glad you liked tonight's topic. I wasn't real sure about tonight's topic. It's like, because amusement can be so different for different people. And Dr. Fredrickson talks in her book about how it has to be a safe environment. If somebody makes a funny face when they do something and it's a safe environment, then it's great. But if someone makes a funny face because they're choking, then it's not so great. So it's really important with the amusement, just like with the joke. If the joke is offensive, there is no amusement there. So it has to be the right environment for us to have the real power of amusement. All right, I'm looking in the chat. I don't see anything else at the moment. So what I would like to do is to do a visualization. And this is a visualization of amusement. We're going to start out doing a visualization of Kenneth with his lemons so that we can walk through it piece by piece together. And then we'll go through it a second time and allow you to pick something that amuses you and to walk through it. But I want to do it together for the first one so you get a real idea of what it is I'm trying to do here. Now, if we were all on camera, this would be very amusing because I'm going to ask you to do things like laugh out loud and smile like an idiot. And so it would be amusing if we all got to see each other, and you might be amused with me as we do it. So let's see. Jody says, progress is awesome. I'm seeing some progress also. Calmness, movement, weight loss, goal setting, etc. Oh, that's wonderful news, Jody. Thank you so much for sharing. And if anybody wants to share their charts with me as they fill it out, or any notes about what you're doing, feel free to send me an email or reach out through the website. So it's Ivanna at myluminaryinsights.com, or the website is myluminaryinsights.com. All right, so what we're going to do is I am going to ask you to close your eyes, and we're going to do the first round of the visualization based on my experience, but you should be able to see it and think of it yourself. And then the second one will be less guided, for you to go more into your own memories, your own thoughts of things that amuse you. So I am going to ask you, if you're comfortable, to please close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, smile like an idiot. Big smile on your face, because you are amused and you are happy. And as we get to the point in the visualization where you would probably laugh out loud, go ahead and laugh out loud, because it makes it so much stronger. When we involve all of our senses, we save this information in our bodies, and we're able to call it back out later. Just like with the good moose, all I have to say is good moose, and I get giddy, because it's stored in my body now, and I can use that to bring me to a place of joy, even when what's happening around me might not be so happy. So close your eyes, big smile on your face, be ready to laugh out loud as we think about this couple coming into a restaurant with a baby carrier, sitting down at the table and putting the baby carrier up on top of the table. Cute little babies kicking and smiling, and that's amusing in and of itself, just watching the baby have a good time. The parents get a glass of water with a lemon in it. So look at the lemon. Can you smell the lemon? Smell that citrus? Maybe feel the coldness in your hand. And look at that cute little baby kicking and playing in the carrier. Now slowly visualize yourself moving that lemon toward the baby's mouth. The baby's happy and kicking, and as the baby tastes that lemon, you see this scrunchy face and the baby all scrunched up, and then you laugh out loud because it's so crazy, the look on the baby's face. And so you pull the lemon away and get ready to start talking, and then you realize that the baby is making faces and gesturing that they want more lemon. So you put the lemon back up to the baby's mouth, and the face again, and laugh out loud and smile really big, because the baby is having so much fun and you're having so much fun. And the waiter comes over and is laughing with you as you're putting this lemon in the baby's mouth, because the baby wants more. The baby loves it when you take it away. The baby wants more and makes those funny little faces. So hopefully your smile is getting bigger. Maybe your shoulders are dropping. And I hope you laughed out loud. So now I want you to think of something that brings you amusement. Similar to what we did with the lemon, you can smell things, you can touch things, you can feel things. You can look at the colors. You can notice who the people are that are there, what's around you, what are people doing. So I'm going to give you just a minute in your mind's eye to think of your example of what brings you amusement. Add as many details to this as you can. What are you doing? What are other people doing? What colors do you see? Do you feel anything? What do you taste? What do you smell? What are you touching? Make it like an endless loop video that plays over and over again. Make sure that smile on your face is big. And I challenge you to laugh out loud at that exact moment in that endless loop when the amusement takes place. Play it over and over a few times. Let the smile get bigger. Let the laughter get louder. Let every cell in your body feel joy and happiness from that laughter, from that amusement. Play it one more time. And then take a deep breath and blow it out slowly like it's through a straw. Make sure that smile is on your face as you slowly open your eyes. Wiggle your fingers and toes if you need to. Keep that smile on your face and know that you can play that video at any moment of any day. Just like the good moose makes me laugh, even to say it. I can see the visual, I can hear our laughter. I can come to that point in the middle of something stressful. I can just, in my mind, go, good moose. And my smile's going to come on my face no matter what's happening, even for just that moment. And bringing that joy into our lives, teaching ourselves to find a way to be positive in that moment, even if the situation around us isn't positive, it truly does impact our lives in our psychological strengths, our mental habits, social connections, and physical health. And I'll say for me, I guess physical health, if I think of the mental health even more than the physical. But even with the physical, my shoulders are dropping, I'm relaxing more. So it is happening. It's happening for me there too. So type in the chat box, what was your experience with that visualization? Did you feel a little amused? Was a smile on your face? Did you feel a little amused, laughing out loud? This really is much more fun on Zoom when we can all see each other doing it. How was that for you? And do you think that you've got that embedded in the cells of your body enough that you can pull that out again when you need it? So I'll give you a second to type in the chat box. I may have put some of you to sleep. I'm going to ramble on for a moment while you have time to type a little bit more. I know it takes a minute on Zoom and there's often a little bit of a delay. So for me, the realization truly was that I am seeing growth in the physical as well. It's just not what I was necessarily looking for. And that's part of the beauty of this work, is that there's so much we don't know and there's so much we're not aware of. And when we take time to be quiet and to do visualization and to do meditation, things will bubble up. Our subconscious will be like, hey, this wasn't what you were looking for, but it's here. Take notice. These great things are happening even when we're not aware of them. So the power of even just being still for those few minutes together can do so much for us in all areas of our lives. So, there we got a comment. Okay. Jody says, I pictured the day the waitress in the Korean restaurant brought out milchi when I was with Martha. I was excited and amused, and I think she was surprised. Remember Martha? Absolutely. For those of you who don't know, milchi is a Korean side dish, and basically it is little tiny anchovies that are in sort of a caramelized soy sauce, typically type of sauce. And they are come in different sizes, and they are not often served as a side dish in the United States because most Americans don't eat them. I turned Jody onto them years ago, and we often ask for them at Korean restaurants. And so, especially when you see the waitress's face when someone like us asks if they have milchi and get excited about it, that's amusement for them and amusement for us. That's great, and that's a wonderful bonding piece for Jody and Martha, and for me. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Well, I do try to keep these broadcasts right at 30 minutes or less because I know we all have busy lives. Yes, and they are now very expensive as well, Jody. Yes. Another reason not to serve them to people who aren't going to eat them. But thank you guys so much for joining me on the pathway to positivity. And as always, if you're interested in going deeper in the positivity concept than we're able to do in the broadcast, just fill out the Let's Talk form at myluminaryinsights.com. and we can explore together. So please tell your friends and invite them to come as well. Hopefully you're getting something great out of the broadcast, and hopefully they will as well. So Martha says a bit off topic. But she enjoyed my husband's work. See, that's amusing to me, to have you bring up his book in the middle of our broadcast. Yeah, it's really cool having two authors in the family. I don't think I have his book handy beside me, but I will take it as a moment to plug my book as well. So Women Who Shine is the book I'm in, and Infinity Road is David's book as well. Martha, thank you for bringing that up. I will tell him he should have come and done his jokes tonight, so you could tell him that personally. And I'd love to talk to you about that more as well. Yay, Antoinette. She made a whole session. I'm so excited you got to be here. It's so wonderful to have you here and all the wonderful input you've given us. Oh, yes, so my book will be going to you soon, Martha. I hope you'll be amused with my book. There's some really, even though my husband's book is a really deep topic overall, which is divorce, especially men and divorce, there's a lot of amusing stories in his book. He's a great storyteller. So thank you both. All right, so please share the broadcast, invite your friends to come, and continue to walk the pathway to positivity. And thanks for walking it with me. Lots of love and light, you guys. Have a great night.